So now let's look at the next data types that you can use in Python, and by data types I mean different type of data that can be stored in variables. So first I'm going to hide the project pane because don't need the project pane, and let's say that I want to print hello, the name of the person and the age of the person. So I'm going to put after the name put another plus because I'm going to add some text here. I'm going to say your age is, and let's say that I want to have a variable here referred which is going to display the age. So I'm going to declare another variable called age. It's going to be called age. I'm going to put equals, and we're going to assign the value 23 to this variable. So in double quotation marks, we put 23. And now if I refer this variable here, so I've put a plus here, and I type age while I am typing, IntelliJ is giving us some hints. And it's saying, do you mean this variable age? And press enter. So we have fill in that for us. Now if you run this code, you get hello Alex, your age is 23. And this is fine, but the problem is if you hover over the name variable, you're gonna see that this variable is called the name, and then you see that you have this colon str. And what this means, this is the type of the variable. So the variable is called name and is of type string, and that means that it's storing data now. So if you hover over the variable name too, it's also of type str, so it's also of type string and is storing that, is storing text. And if you hover over the variable age, the variable age is also of type string, and you want a number. You don't want to be of type string. You want to store numbers. So whatever you put inside the double quotation marks, it will be always treated as plain text, not as a number. But if I put here 23 without the quotation marks, now I get this immediately grayed out, and it's saying expected type str, so it's expecting text, so it's expecting some text there, but it got int instead, so it got a number instead. And now we're trying here to add a number to our text, and this is gonna throw an error. So now if you run this, you get type error, can only concatenate str, not int to string, so it can only concatenate string. So you can only concatenate text to our text. You cannot add a whole number to our text. And you can also have another type of variable. So if I put 23 point, let's say 3, if you hover over now the variable now is of type float. It immediately changes the type. It will, because it infers what type this variable is, this infer by the what value you assign to it. So because here now we assign the decimal number, now the type changed to float. So now it's storing a floating point number because it's a number which has a decimal part. And if you run this, it will get also an error because you can only concatenate strings. You cannot concatenate a number. And what you can do is you can add another print line here, another print, and we're gonna refer the variable age down here, because the print function can receive different types of arguments, so different types of data. So it can output text, it can output numbers. So this is why you can pass here the number, and if you run now, this will not throw an error. We get 23.3. the number that we assign here. And this is because, as I said, the print function can take different types of it can work with different types of input. It can work with strings, it can work with whole numbers, with decimal numbers. So this is our discussion about variables. I'm gonna continue our discussion by looking at another type of variable, and that is the Boolean value, Boolean data type. Actually, let's look at the Boolean data type. So the Boolean data type can only store only true or false, and this is very used in program, because as you'll see when we're gonna look at the if statements and all of that, you'll need to use the Boolean value. So if I type here is active, what I can do is active underscore, so is underscores active, and I can assign here either true with a capital letter. So I can assign here true or false to this variable. Those are the only values that this variable can take. Those are the only the only values that the variable, the Boolean data type can store. So if you hover over the it's active, you see that it's active is of type bool, so Boolean. And that means that it can only store false or true. And if you add, let's delete this, and if you add another print line here, so if you add another print line and we refer it's active, now if you run this, you're gonna see we get false because the boolean variable has the value false. If I change now this to true, and now if I run the code, we get true because now our variable it's active has the value true. And this is the boolean data types, and you're gonna use the boolean data types a lot in your code, and most of the time you're gonna work with the boolean data type. And this is our discussion about data types, and see you in the next video.